and welcome back. I'm Sister Marilyn Baker, and this is week 3, lesson 3 of English for Academic Purposes. Today we're going to be looking at unity and coherence. This is an advanced writing course, and as you could tell from the first 2 lessons, we're really moving along in the process. Today we're going to move back to the beginning of the book to chapter 2. And we'll be looking at unity and coherence. All right? Unity is an important element of a good sentence, a good paragraph. If a good paragraph begins with a topic sentence, and that topic sentence is going to focus the entire paragraph on information about that. So you want to be, the rest of the paragraph is going to have to stay with it. So you need unity. The unity is contained in the fact that the paragraph will discuss only one idea, only one topic. Okay. There's only one main idea. There's only one topic that's going to be talked about from the beginning of the paragraph all the way to the end. Right? And this is true for longer essays. Each paragraph within that essay is going to focus on only one idea, one aspect. If you look at a chapter in a book, that the first chapter has focused on one point. You move to the next chapter. That paragraph in the second paragraph is focused only on one point. That keeps it unified, so that everything within that paragraph is supporting, is talking about, giving examples about that one idea. So basically, the element of unity in the paragraph is established from the fact that you talk about only one point from the beginning to the end. Sometimes you're able to talk about something else if it's closely related to the topic. But try to keep your focus on the main idea that you have put into your topic sentence. All right? For example, the authors say you could discuss gas economy and low maintenance costs in the same paragraph if you're talking about cars, because they are closely related. But you can't talk about gas economy and easier parking for this car, because even though they're related to the car, they're not closely related to the topic. Okay? So if your topic is on the advantages or disadvantages of owning a car, and you're looking at the economic issue, well, gas and economy and low cost of maintenance, okay, they belong together because it both involves money. But ease of parking has nothing to do with money. You may have to pay for the parking, but that's not that's not the sentence. The sentence is about how easy it is to park this car. It has nothing to do with economy. Don't put it in that paragraph. Use another paragraph for that. Okay? Now, the second part of unity is that every supporting sentence directly explains. Come on. I think I'm hitting the wrong button. No wonder it's not coming out. Okay. The supporting sentences directly explain or prove the main idea. So that as you move from your topic sentence and you move down to your supporting sentences, everything those supporting sentences say pertain directly to the topic. For example, in a paragraph about the high cost of prescription drugs in the United States, you can mention buying drugs from pharmacies outside of the United States as an alternative. Why? Because you're talking about the expensiveness of buying your medicine. So you talk about buying medicine outside of the United States, which might not be as expensive. That's okay, because they both are pertaining directly to the cost of medicine, of drugs needed for medical purposes. But if you have too many sentences about buying your medicine from outside the United States, you're getting away from your topic, because your topic is the high cost of medicine or drugs in the United States. So you don't want to spend too much of your focus on outside or buying it from other countries or whatever. So you be careful that even though they're closely related, you don't want to get off the topic. You want to stay on your topic. If you get off your topic, you start talking about something else, there's no unity. The unity is that everything is focused in on the main idea, your topic of your topic sentence. The 3 paragraphs that follow in the book discuss the same topic. Only one of them shows unity. Now, you're going to take time later to read through each one of those paragraphs and determine which one has unity. You're going to be able to discern that because you're going to know whether or not it's talking about only one main idea, or if the supporting sentences directly explain or prove the main idea. Okay? And they're all 3 about the effects of color, and you can read through that and do that exercise. We'll go through that later. All right? Look over on page 20. Let me see. Yeah, we'll do the practice 1 on pages 19 and 20. Those are the 3 paragraphs on the effects of color. And as you read through it, you can determine how each one is unified. It may not be unified because either the supporting sentences move away from the topic, or the supporting sentences are supporting the topic, but then a new topic is introduced. You don't want to do that either, because a new topic deserves a new paragraph. All right. Both of the following paragraphs, this is on page 20, both of the following paragraphs break the rule of unity because they contain one or more sentences that are off the topic. So, for example, here's a short one for you. Adventure travel is the hot trend in tourism today. Ordinary people are no longer content to spend their 2 weeks away from the office resting on a sunny beach in Florida. More and more often they are choosing to spend their vacations rafting down wild rivers, hiking through steamy rainforests, climbing the world's highest mountains, or crossing slippery glaciers. People of all ages are choosing educational study tours for their vacations. All right? Did you hear the break? Did you hear where it went off? People don't want to spend their vacations just sitting on the beach in Florida. They wanted to have vacations rafting down the rivers. That's okay. Hiking through the steamy forest. That's okay. Climbing the world's highest mountains. That's okay. Crossing slippery glaciers. That's okay. But listen to this. People of all ages are choosing educational study tours for their vacations. That's a new idea. That's a new topic. If it were included, it could be included, there's not a problem with it. If it were included, people would like to spend their vacations choosing educational study tours, rafting down rivers, hiking through steamy rainforests, climbing the mountains, no problem. But as soon as you shift away from ordinary people to people of all ages, now you have a new topic. Now you have you need a new paragraph. You can't put that in there. You can't put that in there. Why? It doesn't belong. It's a new topic. Your topic sentence says, ordinary people are no longer content to spend their 2 weeks away from the office resting on a sunny beach. So now ordinary people, more of them want to do these other things. All right? As soon as you introduce new people, then you have a new paragraph. People of all ages are choosing educational study tours for their vacations. That's right, but that's another topic sentence that belongs in a new paragraph. That's not your concluding sentence for that paragraph. Okay? So you want to make sure that they are only one main idea. and the supporting sentence directly explain or prove the main idea. Okay, here's paragraph 2, and this one is also, doesn't follow the rules, okay? Daredevil sports are also becoming popular. Young people especially are increasingly willing to risk life and limb while mountain biking, backcountry snowboarding, or high-speed skateboarding. Soccer is also popular in the United States now, although football is still more popular. One of the riskiest new sports is sky surfing, in which people jump out of airplanes with boards attached to their feet. Sky surfing rivals skydiving and bungee jumping for the amount of thrills and risks. It's a little bit difficult, a little more difficult now, because it's the part that doesn't belong, that defies the unity, is stuck in the middle. Daredevil sports. Okay, so daredevil sports is the topic. And then here's the sentence: soccer is popular in the United States, although football is still more popular. Now, true, you can get injured in soccer, and you can get injured in football, but those are not what we call daredevil sports. Children play soccer. Children play football. You know, they're safe enough for parents to say, oh yes, let my son or my daughter play soccer. They're on the soccer team. No big deal. That's not a daredevil sport. It doesn't belong in there. It breaks the unity. All right? So what you need to be careful about is, yes, soccer and football are very popular sports, but it doesn't belong with your topic of daredevil sports. If you're going to talk about daredevil sports, you cannot put in soccer and football, baseball, basketball. That is not what we include in the topic of daredevil sports. All right? So that has to come out. You can't leave that in there. Once you get that out of there, that paragraph is totally unified. All of the sentences are directly related to the main idea, from the beginning of the paragraph through the middle to the end. All of your supporting sentences directly explain or prove the main idea, which is only one topic. See? So once you get something else, you introduce another idea, it breaks the unity. You want to make sure that all of your paragraphs, all the paragraph is unified. Everything is focused on one topic. Okay. Now, there's another longer paragraphs that you're supposed to go through, and that are off the topic. Discuss what they are. I'm not going to take the time to do that within this class, but I do want you to go through it on your own, in your own time, so that you can practice reading the paragraph, finding the sentences that are not part of the topic, that break the unity of the paragraph, and then delete them, put a line through them so you can recognize them. Okay? So the points that you need to know about unity is that everything in that paragraph is related to the main idea. You state in your topic sentence, this is what I'm going to talk about. Everything following to the very end must be pertaining to that topic. If you want to add something else, start a new paragraph. Start a new paragraph. Don't stay with that paragraph, because it breaks the unity. That's very confusing for the reader, because they can't ask you, well, so what do you mean? Do you think that football and soccer are daredevil sports? I mean, I know they're popular, but I wouldn't say they're dangerous, you know. They could be if you get too rough, but they're not meant to be dangerous, you know? All right, so go through paragraph 1 and 2 on page 21 and do the exercise of deciding where the paragraph, maybe, you know, there are two ideas. Where do you need to divide the paragraph from paragraph 1, which was about this topic, and paragraph 2, which is about another topic, okay? That they're combining two paragraphs together that have two different topics. They may be closely related, but they're not the same. So you have to decide where should it be separated into two separate paragraphs, okay? Again, it's for the unity, for unity. All right? All right. The second thing we want to look for in a good paragraph, a good essay, is coherence. Coherence means it makes sense. In English, if somebody is injured and they hurt their head, they bump their head, the first thing we want to know is when they talk, are they coherent? Do they make sense? Because if they don't make sense, you know something's wrong. They need to go to the hospital right away and have tests so that make sure their brain is okay. Same thing with a paragraph. We want to make sure that it makes sense. You can have wonderful sentences and you can say wonderful things about a topic, but if it doesn't make sense, then it's not coherent. People don't know what you're talking about, okay? So, sentences within the paragraph move logically and smoothly from one sentence to the next. We want to be able to say this about the topic sentence and then move right into the supporting sentences, whatever you need to say to prove or to give examples of your topic, and then move right into your concluding sentence. Just very smoothly, without causing any disruption to the meaning of your paragraph. Coherence in writing means that the sentences are held together logically. They move smoothly from one point to the next, okay? Take a look at page 22. What do we need to do to achieve coherence? All right? We need to repeat key nouns. Help the reader to know what it is you're talking about. Yeah, we sometimes put in some pronouns to help to make a little variation. But we don't want to have too many pronouns in there, otherwise we're not sure what the reference is for that pronoun. And if you get too far away from your main noun, we're going to not know exactly what it is you're referring to. So repeat key nouns. Come on. Get up there. Okay. Use consistent pronouns. If you say we at the beginning of your essay, say we all the way through. Don't say we in sentence 2 and you in sentence 3 and we in sentence 4 and I in sentence 5. It's very, very illogical. Okay? Be consistent. If you're going to say we, say we. If you're going to say they. If you're going to say I, say I. But say it all the way through. All right? Then the third thing to do is to use transition signals that link the ideas. And we'll spend the rest of this chapter on those three things. And then there's a fourth idea, which is coming up, maybe. Yeah, there you go. Arrange your ideas in logical order. All right? You're going to have 3 or 4 that will support the main idea, and you want to put them in logical order. Logical order can mean whatever is the most understandable for the reader. Okay, and we'll work on that as we get through the chapter. Okay, we'll take a look here. Page 22. Repetition of key nouns. What does that mean? We'll look at the 2 model paragraphs. One paragraph is coherent. The second paragraph is not coherent. All right, now we're going to go back to our little paragraph about gold. Remember in chapter 1 we read about gold. Well, here we are, back again. Gold, a precious metal, is prized for 2 important characteristics. First of all, gold has a lustrous beauty that is resistant to corrosion. Therefore, it is suitable for jewelry, coins, and ornamental purposes. Gold never needs to be polished and will remain beautiful forever. For example, a Macedonian coin remains as untarnished today as the day it was made 25 centuries ago. Another important characteristic of gold is its usefulness to industry and science. For many years, it has been used in hundreds of industrial applications such as photography and dentistry. The most recent use of gold is in the astronaut suits. Astronauts wear gold-plated heat shields for protection when they go outside the spaceships in space. In conclusion, gold is treasured not only for its beauty, but also for its utility. Now you notice that if you look at that paragraph, gold is mentioned 7 times. The author used the pronoun it only 2 times. If you look at sentence number 5, the word it refers to the coin, not to gold. All right? So it does not, you have to be careful when you use the pronouns. Therefore, it, meaning gold, is suitable for jewelry, coins, and ornamental purposes. Gold never needs to be polished and will remain beautiful forever. For example, this is sentence number 5. For example, a Macedonian coin remains as untarnished today as the day it was made 25 centuries ago. It does not refer to gold. All right? So if you have too many it's in there, people won't know whether you mean gold or you mean it, meaning coin, or something else. All right? So you want to make sure that you use the key nouns often enough that it will not confuse the reader. All right. Now let's take a look at model number 2. This one does not have coherence, and we'll see why. Gold, a precious metal, is prized for 2 important characteristics. First of all, it has a lustrous beauty that is resistant to corrosion. Therefore, it is suitable for jewelry, coins, and ornamental purposes. It never needs to be polished and will remain beautiful forever. For example, a Macedonian coin remains as untarnished today as the day it was made 25 centuries ago. Another of its important characteristic is its usefulness to industry and science. For many years, it has been used in hundreds of industrial applications such as photography and dentistry. Its most recent use is in astronaut suits. Astronauts wear shields made from it for protection when they go outside the spaceship. In conclusion, it is treasured not only for its beauty, but also for its utility. Now, the word gold was used only in the first sentence and never used again. For a very short paragraph, this may not be a problem. But for a longer paragraph, the reader might think, now what are we talking about here? What is the focus of it? After a while you begin to forget, what is the main idea? You have to go all the way back to the beginning of the paragraph and read the topic sentence so you can remember what it is. That's not a good idea. You want to repeat the key nouns often enough so that the reader will not become confused about what exactly you're talking about. What is the main idea here? All right? So there's nothing wrong grammatically with the second paragraph, but the coherence is not strong because we don't really know exactly, when we get down to the end, we're pretty sure, but we're not positive about the topic. So repeat the key words, the key nouns, often enough that the reader will not become confused, or there's no possibility that the reader will become confused. Maybe in this one, because you already know the topic and we've read it 3 times now, it's not going to be a problem. But for someone who's just reading it the first time, it may become a little bit unclear. So what are we talking about here? All right? Make sure that you repeat the key nouns often enough that it will not have any problem, make any problem for the reader. Okay. All right, we just did practice 2, and we did the directions. Okay? Let's move over to page 23. All right. In 23, the authors are giving you some ideas on the usage of the key nouns. And they're asking you to go through these paragraphs and to determine how many times you need to repeat the key noun. Because it may depend upon what information is being given. There is no rule that says you have to have 7 or you have to have 9. If you have 8 paragraphs, eight sentences, you should have 4 key noun repetitions. It doesn't really say that. It's what is the topic and how is it talked about in the paragraph. We want to make sure the reader has no difficulty in understanding the meaning of the paragraph. So you're going to have 2 exercises on putting in the key noun. In the following paragraph, the key noun is never repeated. Replace the pronoun it with the key noun English whenever you think doing so would make the paragraph more coherent. Okay? So you can do that little exercise. In part B, the following passage is about dolphins. Replace some of the pronouns with the appropriate singular or plural nouns. All right? And so you can, sometimes they use a singular noun, sometimes they use a plural noun, but the topic is about dolphins, okay? So those 2 practices help you to find, to be sure that you keep cohesion by making sure there's no confusion by the reader as to what the topic is. Another thing you can do is, if you don't want to repeat the key noun all the time, gold, 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 you can use a synonym, substitute for the word, all right? If you don't want to repeat it again and again, find expressions with the same meaning. Find synonyms that can be used in place of it. For example, in sentence number 8 of the first paragraph about gold, the writer substituted the word use as a synonym for application in sentence 7, thereby smoothing the flow of thought from one sentence to the next. Let's take a look at sentence 7. Sentence 7 says, "For many years it has been used in hundreds of industrial applications, such as photography and dentistry. The most recent application use of gold is in the astronaut suits." So by repeating the idea but not repeating the same word, it helps to maintain the direct connection with the topic without becoming boring. Okay, and it flows easily too. Okay, on page 24, oops, wrong one here. Let's get this over here. On page 24, we want to make sure that we have consistent pronouns. That's step 2 of coherency, okay? Make sure that when you write your paragraph, you have the same pronoun throughout, whenever the pronoun is referring to your topic, okay? Let's look at the model paragraph and note the connection of persons and number. Here's the original. A student who knows a few Latin and Greek roots and prefixes has an advantage over a student who does not know them. They can often guess the meaning of new words. If, for example, you know that the prefix omni means all, you have a better chance of guessing the meanings of words such as omnibus, omnipresent, and omnidirectional. Furthermore, a student who knows that the root psi comes from sera, to know, can guess that omniscient means all-knowing. All right, so you heard there's a student, we have you, and we have they. Okay? So we have a student singular. We have they. They is plural. We have you. You is second person. Could be singular or plural. Kind of mixed up, all right? So we want to, that's going to not help with coherence. We want to make sure everything makes sense. So let's go back. Here's what the authors suggested. Let's keep the they and change a student to students, plural. Students who know a few Latin and Greek roots and